Meloetta is one of the most unfortunate mythical Pokemon in the series, and yet in the competitive hacked Pokemon format, she is actually a very strong and reasonably popular choice. Balanced Hackmons is a format where any Pokemon can use any moves or abilities they want thanks to hacks like save editors. While some select few abilities and moves are banned, such as Wonder Guard and Quiver Dance, most things in the game are completely allowed, with very few restrictions. And Pokemon such as Eternatus, Miraidon, or Dialga Origin are commonplace, abusing the most powerful moves and abilities possible to become even stronger than they already were. Meloetta seems out of place compared to some of these famous and successful legendaries. In the base game, Meloetta has had an unfortunate career as one of the more underwhelming mythical Pokemon, with a unique gimmick that never quite worked in practice. It's unfortunate because on the surface the Pokemon seems quite solid. It has a strong stat distribution with impressive bulk, special attack, and even a respectable 90 base speed. Meloetta's gimmick is also quite creative. After using her signature move Relic Song, Meloetta will transform into the Pirouette form, which has a normal fighting type combination and significantly higher speed and attack. The versatility offered by these two forms, one with special attack and one physical, may seem good, but in practice it is rather clunky and awkward to use. Relic Song itself is a pretty poor attack, a simple normal type move with only 75 power. Normal fighting is also not a great type combination, and with only 4 move slots, one taken up by Relic Song, it is difficult to fit special and physical attacking options on your set to take advantage of the two forms and their versatility. You'd be better off just using a strong physical attacker to begin with, rather than transforming into this Pirouette form. Meloetta's most successful sets throughout the years just ignore the Relic Song transformation mechanic entirely and use her base form. A normal psychic typing does have its uses, as you're a rare psychic type immune to ghost type attack, but this typing would really not age well. Dark type has only risen and risen over the years with the buffing of knockoff from Gen 6 onwards, and in Gen 9 with powerful dark type attackers in just about every tier and similar Pokemon releasing to outclass her, Meloetta is unfortunately ranked all the way down in the PU tier. So once again, what business does Meloetta have in the world of hacked Pokemon, the highest power level format possible? Why is she successful up here against all odds, despite a lackluster resume in the base game? Let's find out. Like this video and subscribe to the channel urgently, so that Typhlosion may broker a peace agreement with Makago following his conquest of the known world. Thank you. Meloetta finds itself outclassed in the base game by many other similar Pokemon with superior abilities or movesets. But in Balanced Hackmons, Meloetta can use whatever ability or moves it wants. In Balanced Hackmons, all that really matters is a Pokemon's base stats and typing, and Meloetta has very good base stats. With great HP, special defense, and decent base speed compared to other Pokemon with similar bulk, Meloetta has a solid foundation here to function well as a special wall. In Balanced Hackmons, one of the most popular abilities to use is actually the ability of Frostmoth, Ice Scales. Frostmoth is a terrible Pokemon, but it has one of the best abilities in the entire game. With Ice Scales, a Pokemon will receive halved damage from incoming special attacks, which is a significant increase to bulk. This ability is perfect for Meloetta, with an already great special defense stat and Ice Scales to enhance its special bulk even further. Meloetta will be able to withstand even some of the most powerful special attacks in the game. But why use Meloetta for this? One of Meloetta's most detrimental traits in the base game is its typing, so why would that be any different here? Arceus and its many forms are very common in Balanced Hackmons because they have base 120 in every stat and any type you like, meaning they are very customizable. Why not use something like Arceus Fairy with Ice Scales instead? You can use whatever utility moves you like on the Pokemon, and it should overall be better. Mega Alakazam is another popular choice for a special wall with Ice Scales in Balanced Hackmons, a pretty similar Pokemon to Meloetta stats-wise, but with a generally more desirable Fairy typing. Well, it turns out, folks, that Meloetta's normal Psychic typing actually has a valuable use up in Balanced Hackmons. First of all, normal typing feels pretty good here since powerful Ghost types are everywhere. Arceus Ghost is one of the most common threats in the entire format. It can use various different sets, including Simple plus No Retreat to be an all-in boost sweeper, Tidy Up with a physical boosting set, or even a Take Heart sweeper set, which is impervious to status. Flutter is also an extremely common Ghost-type threat in Balanced Hackmons, desirable for its excellent Ghost Fairy typing and fantastic offensive stats. In Balanced Hackmons, Flutter can borrow the ability of Drifblim, Flare Boost, which is a bit like Guts for special attackers, granting 1.5 times damage damage to your special attacks when you are burned. With a Flame Orb to inflict burn on yourself, this turns Flutter into an extremely effective and frightening special attacker. In a world where any move in the game is available to you, Ghost-type attacks are some of the best. Lunala's Moongeist Beam has the excellent effect of ignoring abilities, along with a high base power. Poltergeist is also a hard-hitting physical Ghost-type attack. This makes Ghost immunity pretty useful up here. Fighting is commonly paired with Ghost as an offensive coverage combination because Fighting is able to hit normal, which Ghost can't hit. But Meloetta happens to be neutral to Fighting because of its complementary Psychic type. So far, Mega Audino shares all of these traits with Meloetta, but Meloetta has one important distinction. Meloetta also has a resistance to Psychic, which is actually very important. One of the most powerful special attackers in balanced Hackmons is Mega Alakazam, a Pokemon with an unbelievable 175 base special attack. Mega Alakazam can use Chi-Yu's ability, Beads of Ruin, which was already infamous for its absurd damage output, and with Mega Alakazam's much higher special attack stat and the move Psycho Boost with its enormous base power of 140, and a Choice Specs equipped, even special walls with Ice Scale will struggle to take this hit. Mega Alakazam can also use Psychic Surge to create psychic terrain on the field and boost up its allies, and the move Expanding Force, which has its power raised in psychic terrain. For coverage, Mega Alakazam commonly uses Moongeist Beam, which is actually able to ignore Ice Scales with its ability bypassing effect. But Meloetta is crucially resistant to Psychic and immune to Ghost, making it extremely effective against one of the tier's scariest offensive wall breakers. Mega Alakazam usually has the sheer power to break through things like Arceus or Mega Audino, but it won't be able to break through Meloetta. Meloetta not only has this useful defensive advantage for the format, it can also make good use of its high special attack and higher base speed than most other special walls. With access to the move Psystrike, borrowed from Mewtwo, Meloetta can deal respectable psychic stab damage itself. And since Psystrike hits your opponent based on their physical defense, this can actually be quite threatening to enemy special walls, or any Pokemon with a low physical defense. One of the most important targets to be able to threaten with this is Flutter. Flutter has excellent special defense, special attack, and speed, but all of its other stats are terrible. Since you can hit it right in the defense, you will threaten Flutter significantly, much more than other special walls can. Blissey is also commonly used up here for its fantastic special bulk, and Psystrike will threaten Blissey pretty significantly too. With any utility move in the game at your disposal, one of the most popular options on this Meloetta set is Topsy-Turvy, which is borrowed from the Pokemon Malamar. Topsy-Turvy inverts all of the target stat stages. With access to this move, all of a sudden, the scariest, most powerful, boosted up legendary in the world can be turned completely useless in a single turn. Meloetta's success in balanced Hackmons goes to show that the foundation of the Pokemon and its base stats are quite solid, and this unique combination of base stats and typing give it value in an environment where it is very hard for most things to be viable. Meloetta has had very little competitive success in the base game, so it's nice to see it shine somewhere. If you'd like to try out Meloetta in balanced Hackmons, the format is playable on Pokemon Showdown.